What is up, guys? 10vidman here, bringing another battle. Here's the battle I had of, I believe his name was Public Enemy XY something. I don't remember. He's one of my friends off the battling club. And here I've got an OU standard match. If you hear cats, because my girlfriend's cats, so yeah, that's that. But yeah, I've got a pretty standard team, I guess. Even though my Hydreigon's a little bit weird, but he's got a pretty solid team here. He's got a bunch of hazards everywhere, Ferroform, Tentacruel. Oh my god, this is about to be crazy. And shut up, cat. But it's okay. Other than that, let's get started. Let's go. He's going to lead off with his Tentacruel, and I'm going to lead off with my Heatran. I want to get the Stealth Rocks up right away. And right away, because I know I'm a specially defensive Heatran, so I know I can take any hit. I don't care if he Toxic Spikes. There's really nothing that I really care if it gets Toxic, because Conkeldurr has Guts, everything else is Levitates, his Horse immune. So I have no problem with him getting up Toxic Spikes. He protects, and, I don't care. I'm just going to get those Stealth Rocks with no problem. And he's going to set up his first layer of Toxic Spikes, which kind of confused me just because, I'm pretty resistant to all, poison and stuff. But I'm just going to roar him out, and I'm going to drag in this Ferroform, which is really nice on Roar's part. So how comes that? And I don't really know what this Ferroform wants to do. It could have Stealth Rocks, it could T-Wave, it could have Spikes or Leech Seed or any other crazy shenanigans that it does. But, I'm predicting the switch out, and I wanted to take a fire move, so I go out into my Conkeldurr because I know it threatens it. All its fighting stab moves, and I wanted to get regularly poisoned so it doesn't take too much from that. And he's actually going to go for the Thunder Wave on the switch, which I'm glad I didn't bring out anything else. So, Conkeldurr's poison, which is fine because I get a Guts boost from it, and I'm going to take this opportunity to get up a Bulk Up. Forgetting, of course, he has a Gliscor. I should have gone for the Drain Punch right away, but I didn't, which is fine. So, and I believe he tries to go for Leech Seed here, and that's another thing I should have thought about, because, Leech Seed, that's always a problem. So, should have just went over right away for the Drain Punch. But this is a max attack Conkeldurr, and yeah, with Bulk Up and stuff, and that's always a big threat. And yeah, and I believe after all the crazy after turn effects, he's going to switch out into his physical wall, which is his Gliscor. Gliscor, of course, can wall pretty much all variants of Conkeldurr, barring the Toxicor Facade ones. But I believe I just go straight away for the Drain Punch. And even though that's, technically +2, and I still have max attack, it's not going to do much to this Gliscor at all. Probably a standard one of, almost max defense and some investment into speed. But, yeah, after all these other crazy after turn effects. And by the way, I apologize, this is a pretty long battle, so it's going to be one of my longer uploads. So, after all the Leech Seed and poisoning and recovering and all those crazy shenanigans, I believe I switch out here and I go into the pub and I could most likely take on Gliscor, which is usually, Rotom washes are always great in taking those on. Because most Gliscors carry Ice Fang, most of Poison Heal variants carry Ice Fang, and Rotom is immune to Earthquake regardless. He's going to go for Protect, just predicting, probably a Stone Edge, which I don't mind at all. Get some Poison Heal going. And I'm not a standard Scarf one. This actually is a Rotom with Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split. And out comes the Conkeldurr. I went for the Will-O-Wisp on the switch, and that was kind of a problem because I'm going to give him the Guts boost now, which is not a thing. It's a problem because Conkeldurr's a big threat. But I really don't have much to take it. So, but regardless, I'm just gonna. I believe I switch out here. I just can't remember what I bring out. What do I bring out? Oh no, that's right. I go for Volt Switch, trying to get some more Switch initiative. Want to get some damage on this Conkeldurr. Want to see how much this does. And I am modest max special attack. It does a decent chunk, but I can't really tell from that damage if it's max special defensive or purely offensive. But here I bring out my own Conkeldurr to take any hit because it's probably the best thing that can take it on. About having to bring in my Alakazam, but he goes for the Payback on the switch, which isn't going to do much at all because one, I resisted, and two, it's not doubly powered. So, yeah, we both have status Conkeldurrs here, which is kind of interesting. So, get some more recovery going, and we both actually do. So, after turn effects, poison from my part, burn on his, and I'm pretty sure this was a speed tie because he's able to go first and hit me with the Drain Punch. And, that's Guts boosted and all. And I actually live with 1 HP, which is kind of irrelevant. I actually expected him to switch out into Gliscor here, so I went for the Stone Edge. Of course I missed, which, it wasn't a big deal in the long run at all. Probably wouldn't have done much to Gliscor anyway. So that sucks. But not too big of a deal because, he's going to get more recovery back and all. But, yeah, I'm going to die from the poison, which is, Conkeldurr is a pretty good wall breaker, but his mine goes down, and he's still got his, which is always dangerous, just dangerous. But anyway, I'm going to bring up the Alakazam, because, you know, I'm focus sashed, and I don't care if poison hits me at all, because I'm immune to it. And as I said before, focus sash, and it just makes it look because he's in pain in general. He's going to switch out into Ferroform, predicting the Psychic, which was a good play. Didn't really want to overpredict, just because he could have hurt me really hard at a payback. Just wanted to go straight away for the Psychic and do some damage to whatever switched in. Psychic does a minimum amount of damage. Doesn't really matter. Automatically alerts me it's max socially defensive. And yeah, I gotta switch out here. I don't have a choice. I believe I go back into Heatran here, and yeah, I believe does he go for the Thunder Wave on the switch? I believe he goes for no, he goes for Protect. That's right. And yeah, I can't exactly remember because I know my Heatran gets paralyzed at one point. But I do like that's right. He withdraws, and I go over to Lava Plume on the switch. He goes back into Gliscor, because, you know, it easily for an Heatran, since it's times for weak to ground. Go for the Lava Plume, and even though I'm, you know, max specially defensive, I don't really have any special attack investment in this thing at all. Still does a very decent chunk to Gliscor, which is very nice. But yeah, it's not enough to kill, and, you know, it automatically outspeeds. I've got to switch out here, and I go out into my Rotom, because he Rotom walls pretty much all Gliscors. So he's going to go for the Protect, I guess, predicting a Lava Plume, or for me to overprotect or something. But that doesn't work out. He gets more Poison Heal going, and he's going to withdraw, and I believe he goes back into his Ferroform, which, you know, is a pretty good play, because Ferroform walls Rotom walls for days. So unless you carry HP Fire, which is pretty rare, go for the Volt Switch on the switch, because I knew he wasn't going to stay in a Gliscor. And, you know, I get more switch initiative, which is amazing. I believe I go out into Scizor here, because I could go for the U-turn or go for the superpower. So out comes my Scizor. And, of course, Choice Banded Scizor is a humongous threat to pretty much anything that, you know, faces it. And I didn't want to overpredict. I just, you know, when I was using U-turns, kind of an overprediction, but, you know, still would have done a decent chunk. I was worried to bring out Gliscor to resist the superpower. So, unfortunately, I probably could have taken this Ferroform out straight away, because it gives me a lot of trouble later on, because it paralyzes a lot. So, out comes my Heatran. I'm guessing he predicted me to U-turn here, which was a really nice play. Kind of risky, but he definitely paid off for me. He was able to get the Thunder Wave off of my Heatran, which is pretty good. So, because now Heatran's kind of crippled. I mean, it's not overly crippled, just because I don't have any speed investment. So, and Heatran's pretty slow regardless. So, I believe, yeah, that's right. I switch out because, you know, I'm predicting something else to come in that's pretty much friends Heatran. So, out comes my Rotom. I don't really know what I was expecting, but it actually stays in a Ferroform, which caught me off guard. I did not expect him to stay in. So, he gets more leftovers going, and that little prediction of mine cost me, because, you know, I'm going to go for the Volt Switch again. I believe I go straight back out into Scizor here, because, you know, both Scizor and Heatran, you know, they can threaten out Ferroform pretty easily. I do go into Scizor, and I believe he predicts this or something. He predicted something to come in, so he goes for the Thunder Wave again, and I'm like, nah, no, another Pokemon paralyzed. And, of course, I have no Healers or Aromatherapy users, so I'm kind of stuck here. I got 2 paralyzed Pokemon. That kind of sucks. So Parahex is pretty much inevitable, but it's like right now. So I believe I tried to go for the superpower there. Unfortunately, I get Parahex, so I could have headed that thing out a long time ago, but nope. Parahex has got to screw everything over, so, but regardless, he's going to get a lot of HP back from between the leftovers and the Leech Seed. And now I know that he's going to want to switch out, just because he's at a comfortable range of HP. He knows that a U-turn can't KO him. So, and, you know, he's obviously predicting me to go for the superpower here, but, you know, because I know he's at that range of health, I know it's probably the smarter play to go for the U-turn. I do go for it, and, yeah, out comes the Gliscor, obviously coming in to, you know, withstand the superpower, and it would wall it pretty well. And U-turn still does a pretty decent chunk of the Gliscor. I'm going to switch out. And I believe, what do I go into? I go into my Hydreigon here, and this is not your standard Hydreigon. Most Hydreigons you usually see are scarfed. This one is actually a mixed one. It carries both Draco Meteor and Outrage, and it has Fire Blast and Earthquake. He's going to go for Protect to scout out what I'm going to do. I believe I go for the Fire Blast here, hoping to probably convince him that, you know, I was predicting a Ferroform switch in. But, and I probably should have gone for the Fire Blast again, but no, I decided instead to go switch up my moves, go for the Draco Meteor, maybe expecting Conkeldurr to come in. I was hoping that would come in. Unfortunately, it does not, but go for the Draco Meteor, and down goes that Gliscor, so the big physical wall is out of the way, finally. And so down it goes. And, yeah, I'm Life Orb, too, so which means all my moves get a little bit of a punch. And now out comes the Salamence, and, Moxie Salamence. Let me tell you, it's a pain in the butt. If you're prepared for it, you are going to get obliterated, because Once it gets rampaging, ugh, it's brutal. But out comes my Heatran, and I'm always predicting a Dragon move. He makes a very nice prediction, goes for the Earthquake, and that's a dead Heatran because I'm not going to survive that. It's most likely an adamant next to X Elements. So that was an excellent but very risky play on his part. And down goes my Heatran. So that kind of sucks, and he gets, the free Moxie boost. But I'm predicting this thing to be Scarfed, so I feel pretty safe bringing back in my Hydreigon or my Rotom, because, both resist ground moves, they have Levitate. So out comes Hydreigon, and I really didn't know what he'd bring out here, because, and he could have brought Ferrothorn or Conkeldurr. I was expecting Conkeldurr because it can easily take on my Hydreigon with a Mach Punch. I just go for the Draco Meteor. He brings out his Tentacruel. And Tentacruel is not going to take this Draco Meteor overly well. I mean, it still does a pretty hefty chunk, but, I mean, it probably has some special defense investment, which kind of definitely put me off guard, but not a big deal. So I believe I tried to go for the Earthquake here. He protects to scout out what I'm going to do to see if I am in the next variant, which is a pretty good play. Go for the Earthquake. Unfortunately, nah. He's protecting, so I feel obligated that he's going to switch out. And hello, Cat. But, yeah, regardless, I'm going to switch out here, predicting, he's probably going to switch out. I go into my Alakazam, and he surprises me here. He actually goes for the Rapid Spin, and that sucks because the Stealth Rocks are gone, my Stealth Rocker is gone, and at the add insult to injury, he gets a crit on it. Didn't really matter at all, but that still really, really sucks that he was able to get that Rapid Spin off. That means, he can't take any more Stealth Rock damage. He's going to use Protect to scout out what I'm going to do. And I go for the Stab Psychic just because it's my safest option. I really don't have another choice. And, yeah, he's going to get some more leftovers going. And, I was hoping the Psychic, because I'm max special attack. I'm 10 max special attack, but again, I am sashed. It lives with a Sliver, and I was so annoyed by that. Oh, that really bugged me. But, he goes for the Scald, and luckily, it doesn't do too much to Alakazam. Alakazam's pretty darn frail. But it took that hit pretty well. So, and he's just going to leave the Tentacruel to die. Not a big deal. But down it goes. That's that was probably one of my lesser concerns, just because he wasn't able to do too much to get up the Toxic Spikes. Now, out comes the Conkeldurr here, and he's hoping to knock me out of a Mach Punch. I'm pretty much just willing to leave Alakazam in to die here. But a Guts-boosted Mach Punch will not kill my Alakazam, and that just shocked me and definitely pointed me out that this thing is most likely a specially defensive Conkeldurr. And yet, still, my Snap Psychic is able to kill that Conkeldurr from that range, which really surprised me, because if I were in Life Orb, I probably would have killed it with no problem, but I was kind of hesitant about how much Psychic would have done. So out comes the Ferrothorn. I'm going to go for the Focus Blast, hoping maybe it'll kill. But luckily I do land it, because Focus Blast is very notorious for its missing. And Focus Blast is going to leave that with a Sliver. Holy smidgens. And he's just going to take me out of a Stab Gyro Ball. So, oh, that really bugged me. 2 smidgens in a row. Again, I love the crit to add insult to injury, but of course that crit didn't matter at all. And he's going to get some more leftovers going. And, I've really had to play around this Ferrothorn carefully. And I didn't realize I had free Pokemon at this point. I thought he just had Ferrothorn and Donphan left. But, so I bring out my Rotom, hoping to, burn this thing, because I was hoping he'd probably switch out into Salamence so I could burn it. Unfortunately, he doesn't do it. At this point, I just think he has those 2 left. I forget he has the Donphan left. So I just take this opportunity to burn the Ferrothorn, because at this point, I'm oblivious to the fact he doesn't have Power Whip. And he takes this opportunity to paralyze my Rotom. And I'm like, no, darn it. Why didn't I see this coming? Because I wasn't thinking, obviously. So, not too big of a deal, I guess, even though Rotom's kind of crippled now. Not a terribly big deal. But, and, I believe they tried to go for the Hydro Pump. They were trying to kill it. Unfortunately, I get Parahexed yet again. What am I going to do about it? He's able to Leech Seed, I guess, predicting a switch. And, yeah, and that Leech Seed is going to enable him to live the burn, which really, really, really sucks. And, oh, this Ferrothorn is just trolling me so badly right now, because I don't feel safe really switching. I am hoping Rotom can just bring this thing down without a problem. And it's just not going to happen. So I'm pretty much forced to switch out here. I got to bring out my Hydreigon, and I'm expecting him maybe to try to Thunder Wave again, but he actually goes for the Gyro Ball. I'm like, shoot. That's going to do a pretty hefty chunk. But I forget, of course he's burned. I would have done a lot more if he weren't burned. So luckily getting that burn off kind of saved my butt. But the burn's gonna bring him down to a comfortable range where I can just, I probably could have gone for Earthquake here. I just decided to lock myself in the outrage, knowing it's not gonna matter too much anyway. So probably a misplay, but I knew Hydreigon was good as dead anyway. So down goes the Theraform finally. And I believe Nelly goes back into that Salamence, and I'm scared because this thing can really pretty much screw me over. I'm just extremely scared of this thing. I mean, Scizor resists its Dragon moves, but I'm not confident that my Scizzor's going to live a +1 Dragon Claw. I'm not confident it's going to, Bullet Punch is going to kill from that range. Had I not overpredicted and brought in my, Alakazam, I could have killed that Tentacruel straight away with my Hydreigon, and I wouldn't have had to worry about it because what he's scared is my Bullet Punch is going to kill him. So he switches out and goes into the Donphan, which I completely forgot about. And I'm going to go for the Bullet Punch, because it's pretty much my only option here. And from the damage, I'm kind of assuming that is a max HP, max defense Donphan. Gotta switch out here because Rotom pretty much walls it unless he's carries Head Smash or Stone Edge. Go out into Rotom. He goes for the Earthquake just to be safe. Of course, since I have Levitate, not going to matter at all. And I'm just really, really, really wanting to get a burn on that Salamence. I don't know if he wants to switch out here, but I'm going to get more leftovers going. And, this is just really tight part of the match just because I only have my Rotom and my Scizor left. He's only got Donphan and Salamence left. And he gets his Stealth Rock set, which kind of sucks. That means I'm going to take more damage upon switching, meaning his Dragon Claw or Outrage has a better chance to kill my Scizor. And this is really, really bad here. So, unfortunately, because I get Parahaxed again, which really, really sucks. He's going to predict me to go down to the Scizor, which I don't know why, but I get Parahaxed yet again, and it's really bugging me right now because I can either burn this thing, or if he tries to switch, I can burn Salamence, or just kill this thing straight away. And if I zoom in, yeah, he's not at full health, so his Sturdy's not up, but he's just trying. I guess he's pretty much leaving in Donphan to die here because he knows he can't do too much because he knows Salamence is his key to winning this game. But I'm finally able to get that burn off on the Donphan, so his Sturdy's not going to matter regardless of whether it gets back to full health with leftovers or not. And oh my goodness, this is pretty much the clutch moment because I've got to hope Rotom takes an Outrage. I've got to hope that my Hydro Pump actually hits. Luckily, it does. And that Donphan, of course, is not going to take that hit at all. It's very weak on the specially defensive side. Down goes the Donphan, and now it's 2 against 1. I have my Rotom, my Scizor, against his Salamence. But as I've said before, Salamence is a humongous threat. And if I don't play well, it's going to destroy me. And he locks himself into the Outrage. It's his best bet to do right now. And I see the HP bar go down. Luckily, I do live the Outrage, but I get Parahaxed. And I can't burn him. And that blows. That really freaking blows because now he's able to get he's able to kill my Salamence, or he's got Salamence. He's able to kill my Rotom with no problem at all. He's able to get a Moxie boost, and now I'm in trouble. I'm pretty much thinking to myself, good game at this point because I'm kind of screwed. I don't think I'm going to be able to live an Outrage, but luckily for me, he gets the 2-turn Outrage, and if he got the free turn Outrage, this game probably would have been good as gone right now. I just basically got to hope that Bullet Punch kills. And I go for my Banded Bullet Punch, which is Stab, Technician boosted, Banded boosted, and HP bar goes down. It lives with a Sliver, another freaking Sliver. Had the Stealth Rock been up, it would have been gone. But luckily, the Confusion hits himself. Guys, that is going to be an extremely narrow 1-0 victory on my end. But that was a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Crazy plays, crazy smidgens everywhere. But I hope you guys enjoy that, guys. Rate, comment, sub. Later, guys.